The wife has it on.
Good evening and welcome to Blunt Talk. We are live once again, and let me say the theme of the night, and it's suitable and appropriate that we are down here in Warriors country because the theme of tonight is the Warriors and what happened over the weekend. Tyler Spencer.
What up, bro?
Nice shirt, man.
Thanks, man. I pulled it out of my collection.
Yeah, man, that's nice. It's really nice on you, man. Hey,
It fits pretty well.
how was your all's weekend?
Fucking phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Ooh, why so? Do tell.
Were you there?
Yeah,
Dude.
but I want you to tell the tale, man. What happened?
Man, I was,
Tell the audience who wasn't here on the weekend, didn't pay attention. What happened this weekend,
there was
Tyler?
a whole lot of great football played, man.
Oh my God, yeah. No, I agree. Those are big facts.
Whole lot of great football played this weekend.
The Washington County flag
we
football
went back
league.
home.
Yes.
We went back home. The field was phenomenal. We had food. Did you have some fatties?
I had 2 French fries.
2 French fries?
Yeah, my wife and kid saved me 2 French fries.
Yo, that's how good
Two
it
French
is.
fries? Oh my
you gotta
God.
act fast so you won't last, baby. That fatty shit is banging.
I had fatties too. Strong recommendation. The fries and fish are great. And you told me they're going to start making more food too, Tyler Spencer?
The sides will be back this weekend, man. They're coming back with the potato salads, the macaroni salad, the seafood salad might be there. I mean, they got all the goodies. I don't think they had any Gatorades that weekend to start, but they're going to have some Gatorades back there. They got the drinks. Anybody who ate the fish already knows you get 2 big pieces of fish. The French fries are fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They had 2 different types of wings. They had cheeseburgers, I think hot dogs. They didn't have some chips, but they're going to have the chips again this weekend. They had some brisket. Boy, if you got a brisket sandwich, I swear to God, you already know. That shit is crazy. Like, we are blessed. I think we are blessed. I think we probably have some of the best food on the circuit. I'm going to definitely try to get them out to Hagerstown this year.
Oh my God,
because,
yeah. You know how clutch
bro,
that would be?
They're so good, man. They love what they do, and they love taking care of us. They were really pleased with everything that went on. They had the speaker out there, you know, good vibes the whole time. They bring extra canopies, so while you wait for your food, you've got a spot to sit, you've got shade. It's great people, man. It's a good place to be, and I'm excited. I had a great day.
I'm excited. We're back at Marty Snook, man.
So much good
We came
football.
home,
We're
the
back
50th
home,
season.
bro.
We're back at Marty
home.
Snook, and
Oh
what
my
a
God,
Saturday to
felt
kick it
so
off.
good, man.
If you have not gone back and watched yet, Washington County Flag Football page on YouTube, we got 4 of the 5 games on there this weekend. We ended up having in the end Program Brunswick, Broadax X-Dogs, Spartans Knights, and Warriors ADR. In fact, let's get to the recap. Let's talk about those games, guys.
Game 1.
Game 1 of the day.
Round 1.
Program.
Fight.
Program versus Brunswick. The game which a lot of us felt going in could be a blowout because if you look at it historically, 90-0 was the score all time prior to that game between those two.
Holy shit.
90-0.
Yeah.
Brunswick
It's
has
the
never
first time
scored.
Brunswick's ever
Call
scored.
1-900 Mix-a-Lot.
I thought Brunswick was going to pull it out, man.
I thought
Hey.
so too. Brunswick had a huge chance to win that game.
It's time to get fucking serious.
About what?
This game.
This game?
I really did. think
Brunswick
Brunswick
has
was
won.
gonna pull it
Brunswick
out.
should have won.
Brunswick should have won.
They had opportunities.
I mean, they let Ricky Miller score at the end of the game. Shout out to Ricky Miller making a great play. They drove downfield. He made some great passes. There was once he took a shot that he probably should have just took off and ran with it. Almost came back to bite him in the ass, but they drove downfield. He scored, stretched the ball across the goal line. Extra point, I believe, had a legal man downfield. The retry was no good. And Brunswick just stuck, man. Stagnant. Not really able to get enough of that momentum going. I mean, they
that
have
offense.
the potential. They've got the pieces. But from what I hear, they might be losing some guys. And
Let's get to that a little later on because something has to be going down in Brunswick for this to happen. But we'll see. But yeah, you're right. Brunswick should have won this game. Program played extremely sloppy.
Program did not play to the best of their abilities, but they got a typical program win where they held on, they pulled it off, they played good defense, good enough at least, and I think they're looking forward to their upcoming opponent and given a chance to, prove themselves a little more, prove it wasn't a fluke. First week is tough for everybody. First game of the day, I mean.
Especially when you consider program came into the game missing some linemen.
A lot of guys out, unsuspecting injuries and things that happen.
Falls injury. I saw the photo of his finger.
Huge, unfortunate work
major
injuries.
loss.
So, that's going to come into play. But, Swole stepped up and played center.
Yeah.
That was huge. They had a lot of guys playing both ways. They showed that they were durable, if anything.
They dressed less than Brunswick did.
They indeed dressed less, but those guys went in there, toughed it out, and got it done. They played hard-nosed football, and, you got to give kudos to Ian Fisher. He went out there and led that offense. They did end up scoring. I don't remember how it happened. It was a long, long day, but like I said, I was there from first game to hours after everybody was gone, helping Fatties break down. So it was a long day, but man, that was a great way to start it off. And program starts the season 1-0.
Yeah, and Brunswick falls to 0-1. The losing streak is now up to 20 games since Brunswick's last win, and that was against Survivors in the B bracket playoffs back in the spring of 18.
I'll tell you what, man, they just
the
got a
game
tough
that
draw.
you actually was the head coach for, Tyler Spencer.
Oh man,
we're going way back now. Assassin Survivors.
We scored.
2018.
We scored
Twice.
That's right.
Didn't he try to coach him against us too?
I did. How crazy of a scenario was that? We could have won that game.
Tyler was the brief head coach of Brunswick Assassins there for a bit. 1-1 in his tenure.
They had some strong drinks.
The Assassinator.
The old Assassinator.
Kenny Diener has to bring the Assassinator back this season.
He's got to bring himself back. He's retired, right?
No, he's still playing.
He's
He was there
retired.
Saturday. He suited up. He better not retire, though. We need some Assassinators.
Second
Prompt.
game of the day. What did
Second
we have
game of the
there?
day.
Help me out. My memory is
Your memory's always a little fuzzy. Bit hazy.
indeed. So are the Nuggets.
X-Dogs, Broadaxe, the rivalry.
X-Dogs Broadaxe game of the day.
Yeah. Oh my
That
God.
was the one right there. That was the ultimate classic, the Marty Snook battle royale. I mean, the old teams who, the storied franchises, the powerhouses.
6 times they have met for the league championship in this decade.
Gosh,
in the last
it's
decade.
unprecedented.
It is.
So now,
And
now you've got new teams.
in a new chapter unfolded the other day. We talked about the quarterbacks through the years.
Still good?
Still good.
Double check.
No, you're good, bro.
Oh, ran into the table.
Jaeger got a little excited down there and ran to the table. Better relax, boy. But anyways, going on about the game. Matt Eisenberg has been the one consistent quarterback for X-Dogs all these years.
Listen,
Can we
this
talk
guy-
about the new quarterback that Broadaxe had that's going to possibly go down in the same breath as Kevin Clancy or even Tyler Murdiff or even Ryan Grable?
I mean, the fact
Can
that
Timmy
Clancy
Townsend become that guy?
Clancy was his coach at South High. He's got the mechanics. He's got the speed. He's got the pocket presence. He's got the arm. He's got the poise. I mean, you guys can call it hating, dick riding, whatever. Real recognize real, and that kid is fucking legit.
He's going to be all right.
That kid is legit. And he's sitting behind undoubtedly the best line in the league. They had more
They still
depth
got
than
those
what I've
guys.
seen in a long time. They
Tivis
got
and Kendall?
new faces, old faces.
Zeke was still in there.
They've got the guys, man. They've got some new speed. They had a couple new receivers. The defense was a new look. They've got a new guy leading the defense. They've got new D linemen. They got rid of Austin Graham. Or he got rid of himself. Or I don't know what the fuck.
We'll get.
But Broadax almost pulled it off.
Almost
Pulled it off.
And with a kid who is actually
A rookie.
Not even just that.
He's
Only a year older than the X-Dogs franchise. The X-Dogs franchise, born 2002. Timmy Townsend told me he's 18 years old.
That kid is raw.
That's wild.
Definitely.
That is
raw.
wild.
He's pretty damn good. A lot of teams are going to have trouble with him. Once he learns the game and learns the rules and finds the speed. Like, my biggest thing, he wasn't afraid at all. He stepped in. I think I made this comment to somebody on the sideline. You know how guys go from college to the pros, and they're just that damn good that they still make everybody look bad, as if they've been playing in the pros the whole time? Timmy's got the ability and the pocket presence to, once he learns this game and understands what he can and can't do, it's going to be scary. They'll put up 3-4 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's all I was
a
going
game.
to say. He's got to watch the flag guards a little
Once
bit.
he learns
learn.
not to flag guard, they'll score
learn.
3-4 touchdowns a game. And their lack of defense, he can still keep them in it. So,
Yeah.
and I think they've got a shot. But nonetheless, X-Dogs prevail.
Can we talk about the
Matt
big
Eisenberg?
Matt Eisenberg?
He
Yeah.
subbed himself out and went to receiver. Clutch.
Mm-hmm.
2 touchdowns.
What was that one play? That one play they did.
They were both tipped passes.
Yeah.
Both times.
No, I want to touch
Almost
that. It was just
interceptions.
one little
But can we
wild
talk
play.
about what
They did
could
like
have
a little
been?
pit side.
The little shovel pass.
Yeah.
They got a sneaky offense.
But can we talk about what could have been the biggest free agent signing nobody was talking about, and the person who made the game-winning safety in the end?
Which was?
Chili.
Was it Gist?
Yep.
Did he get the safety?
He got the safety.
I thought it was Brady.
I think Brady got it. He
I
got
thought
Brady,
Chili
bro.
got it.
Brady got it. Gist got the pressure.
Hey, still, that
Yeah,
defensive
I
line
talked
is even.
to Gist and he said
That D line's even more scarier to think about. They
boy.
didn't even have Kinsler in that game.
Yeah, they made a nice replacement. It's a good move. Humble but ready.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That X-Dogs defense is still a little vicious in those trenches. We'll see what happens, though, as the X-Dogs prepare for a matchup later on against Ruckus. Broadax be facing off against this team who earned their first victory in 2 years. We're talking about the Tri-State Spartans. Don Brown, what can we say about him? I know some of you guys don't like his officiating, but as a coach, he's been on it. From the beginning of Food Lion back in the day to what he did for the Greencastle Antrim Spartans, and to now the Tri-State Spartans, who may be better than any of those teams ever were.
There definitely are. Can we figure out what the fuck happened with the jerseys, though?
The fact that they're wearing the same colors as
Brunswick went and got new jerseys, and they look just like the Spartans' new
They,
jerseys.
it's going to be an inter-squad game, but the Railroaders will probably wear black for that game.
Katie was talking about Graham Cracker.
Well, who?
Graham Cracker. Austin Graham.
Oh.
I call him Graham Cracker, man.
Oh, shit. For real, man?
Can we talk about people who actually play games?
Yeah, let's
Ooh.
do that. He asked who Kato was talking about.
Yeah, I was wondering what was going on in the
Yeah.
comment section. You know, it gets a little chippy in here sometimes. If you blink, you might miss it. You gotta go and scroll.
But the Tri-State Spartans, 22-7
Don
over the
Brown.
Red Knights. Don Brown?
Don Brown got a victory. Impressively. That defense is chippy, to say the
Very
least.
chippy.
I don't know if their O-line can hold that water when it comes down to it.
And that offense is extremely
But they
efficient.
said that they believe in Keenan Pooler.
Yeah.
And that
Hey.
RPO was out there. And he did make some plays.
Keenan Pooler and Thad
There was
Jones.
a play where he lowered his shoulder unnecessarily after the flag was pulled.
Hey, let
However.
me tell you though, Keenan Pooler and Thad Jones were quite the combination for the West Virginia Ducks in the spring of 17.
Thad Jones is a fucking beast.
Yeah.
You just-
Those two were a nice 1-2 punch.
There's certain people you just got to throw the ball to, and Thad's one of them.
And if they can mimic the success that Ducks offense they had that season and get the defense down to what it was on Saturday,
The Ducks had success.
20 points per game on offense that season.
What season was that?
Spring of 17, their last
Shut the
one.
fuck up.
It's true.
20 points a game?
They were one of the better offenses.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Keenan
we got to
Pooler
go back
was-
and look at that.
Keenan Pooler was one of the better
20
quarterbacks.
points a game?
That's where it was around 20. I remember that. It was
Holy
up there. It was
shit.
one of the better offenses.
You have no idea how mind-blown I am about that right
But that tells you Keenan Pooler can be successful at quarterback. He beat TMT
He wasn't bad. He
27-21.
wasn't bad.
now. I don't know. Was TJ on that team?
TJ was on that TMT team.
Wasn't Coley on that team?
Coley was on that team.
And-
Josh
and-
Wheeler was on that
and-
team.
and hold up. And my man,
What was his
wide
name?
receiver. Jazz. My man Jazz. Oh, man.
Jazz Jazz is on the Ducks.
Jazz is on the Spartans. Are we seeing the reemergence of the Spartans with a lot of Ducks guys?
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me. A lot of those West Virginia guys that
Is Coley-
didn't go with Ruckus
is
seem
Coley
like they're
gonna
popping up
switch
now
teams?
on the Spartans.
Is Coley going to go back home? There was a little bit of chatter in the comment
I
section.
never heard of
I'm
it.
just
Is there chatter?
stirring the pot.
What chatter in the
He
comments?
said, no, I'm just kidding. There was some chatter over the weekend with him and his guys from Martinsburg because there's a lot of guys on that team from Martinsburg. I'm impressed. The Red Knights, let's just be frank, the Red Knights look like shit. They didn't have enough guys. Andy threw pick sixes in both games, I believe.
Yes. The Knights did not look very good, even though T.J. Williams did come in at wide receiver and
TJ
make a
looked great.
difference. Yeah.
TJ looked pretty damn good. He hasn't played, I didn't see him at 8-man, so he had a season off. TJ looked pretty good. They were missing Fox. They were missing some defense.
Do we know for certain if Fox is actually playing
I
for
don't
them?
know. I mean, at this point,
I
it's
always
the
say
best
I-
possible hope
when
I
it
think
comes
they
to
have.
players, when it comes to players, I'll believe it when I see it.
Fact. 100%. 100%. Guys switch teams. all
Yeah.
If
the
he's
time.
there, though, honestly, Andy has some good options at receiver when you think about it. Mikey,
Losing Thad hurt.
Fox, and potentially TJ too.
Losing Thad hurt. Jay King.
Jay King as well.
Jay King's in the
That's a
best
loaded
shape.
receiving core suddenly.
They've got a good core, but
So let's not count out the
can they
Knights
block
yet.
and can they stop you?
We'll see. But right now, that first game was rough on them. 22-7 against the Spartans. Domination throughout. Don Brown has put together a team that may be a force to be
I
reckoned
can't
with
wait
in
to
the
talk about
county.
next week's games.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to talk about the power rankings. But first, let's get to the fourth game of the day. That was Ruckus 24, Red Knights 19.
Humble pie served by Domino's Best.
Thank you. I tried.
Can you unpin who?
But going back on it again, 24-19, Ruckus over Red Knights. This game was actually not as close as that score implies. The Red Knights got a pick six late because Steven Renner made one of the worst throws I've seen him ever make, where he just threw out to a defender who had no receiver there, and it was ran back for a touchdown. And truthfully, looking at it, like, it wasn't that close, and without TJ, it's even worse. TJ had 2 of their touchdowns. I felt like Ruckus on offense, aside from Renner's pick at the end, actually looked extremely good in that game.
I didn't see much of this game. I saw the first half.
I watched the whole time.
I think
What did you think, Ross?
I was eating, and then I had to stretch. No disrespect, I wasn't there to comment on it.
Spartans look good.
I was talking about Knights Ruckus.
Oh.
I moved on to that.
Oh.
All right, he's had a little much already.
Well, in that case, I didn't really watch it, to be honest with you. I was getting prepped up for my game.
Well, you go. Let them know how it went.
About what I said. I mean, the Knights kept it close early, but the game went on. Ruckus took control as they usually do in these matchups. Ruckus had the game in hand. It should have been 31-13 if anything, but Renner threw a really dumb pick, and that put the Knights in position to win the game late, but onside kick was not recovered, and the Ruckus survived it without having any more issues. So in the end, Ruckus offense I feel like looks fine. The defense, about the same. We'll see how the season goes for them, especially with an upcoming matchup this week against the X-Dogs.
Boone said they need some pepper. What they're cooking with is a little dry. Ain't nothing but some salt.
They're missing. They did. I believe they didn't have
They
the
need some.
Haney
They need
on
some
Saturday.
seasoning. A little spice.
They were down a few players, but overall, Ruckus 1-0. Good job on that victory. And now we move on to the final game of the day. And I'm looking at this score in shock because it's not the result I think a lot of us expected.
Hey, none of y'all motherfuckers think we was gonna win.
Not a single one of them.
The fan poll went to
But the fact
Adrenaline
is,
Rush,
everybody was rooting for us to fucking win.
but it was the Warriors who prevailed 20-6 over ADR. And
That's some good humble pie.
you can say what you want about this game. You
You
can
can say fuck your team.
You could say ADR was breaking in a new quarterback. You
I'm
could
the
say they
greatest of
only
all
dressed.
time.
I
I'm
mean,
just kidding.
believe what you want. It's all right. You could say that
I'm just kidding.
ADR only dressed 19, so you know they didn't have their full team.
How many do we have?
You guys actually only had
15?
12 when it
12?
was over.
We had 12
When it
people.
was over.
We had
After you
12.
lost Polo.
Holy shit!
It was
That
bad.
sideline was thin.
Damn.
think of one.
You guys had significantly less than 80
I
yards.
honestly think we did have less, but I honestly think we only
I thought it
had
was like
about
15.
total of 15.
I only counted 13 on the sideline.
And that's
outside
when
of Polo.
Mercer came on the field, and he literally showed up, and he got put into action because it was a good day to do that.
Maybe I missed
and
that.
he
Maybe
did
I
just
missed it,
fine.
but
Well, I'm just saying.
let's talk about this game. Warriors Adrenaline Rush. There were a lot of keys to this one. The biggest
Oh,
key for the
okay.
Warriors was the trench war. The defensive line absolutely dominated ADR's offensive line, which was one of the biggest
Best D
concerns
line
about
in the
Adrenaline.
league.
Quite possibly from the looks of things.
No, there ain't no quite possibly about it.
I'm taking it. X Dogs.
It's the best defensive line in the league.
X Dogs are pretty
There's
good.
no argument for that anymore. X-Dogs is good.
We got more depth.
More depth in the dogs?
Yep.
Yeah.
Little
They
early,
got their 4 in
little
their
early
set.
to talk dogs. You
Nah,
guys still
we
got
want all the smoke.
You guys got Red Knights ahead. But looking at this matchup, Warriors ADR,
We have the best line.
the defensive line of the Warriors was the biggest key to getting the pressure on the Heiler, who in his first 9-man game just did not look like he had played the game before. He has played 8-man in the past, I've been told. He did show
Even
some
dying
flashes
8-man.
at times.
They should have ran the 8-man offense.
I felt like they were at times.
What
I mean,
the fuck are they gonna do
what
next
was that
year?
line formation they were running halfway through the game?
I saw some tight ends. I saw 2 tight ends, I think, maybe
I
at
don't think
one
I've seen
point.
tight ends since the TMT days.
I don't know. Oh, man.
But ADR did not look like ADR. The defense played lights out like it usually does.
Is anybody else going to beat them?
ADR? We'll see in predictions.
Fact.
But looking at this game,
I don't think.
the Warriors' defense was the biggest key. 2 pick sixes by his truly over here.
Shit was crazy.
And we got to talk about the D line. I lost track of the amount of sacks you guys
I
had in
think we
that
had
game.
9.
9?
I think we had 9.
Oh my God, yeah. It was insane. I just
Or
feel like
10.
every
Was it
play
9?
Hyler was getting sacked.
I think with what we've confirmed, at least 9.
Well, it was 9. And
A lot of rushes.
yeah. And against an
2
ADR
picks.
D line that just did
2
not look
2
ready.
drops.
Or O line did not look ready.
1 possible. 1 pick 6 called back.
I think it was total 10.
10 sacks, yeah.
10 sacks? But in the end, you guys prevailed.
We had more sacks than they had completions.
That may be true,
That's
actually.
that's a fact.
I think that is a fact because
That
I
is a
don't.
fact.
ADR did not move the ball much. They had
That is
one
a fact.
touchdown pass. I think it was Sean Parker had a deep pass
Sean
late in
had,
the
I
game.
think, like 2 catches. He had the touchdown. Mayo caught that incredible basket catch. Brandon laced that bitch. But ADR might be in trouble. Not trouble, but on the verge of trouble.
I will say this: the O line does not look like.
That's right, Jason Kinsler. The Warriors have the best D line. Can't wait. You big ugly
Better not.
choo
You
choo.
better look a little closer instead of ahead.
Nah, bro.
Okay.
We want all the smoke.
I already said it.
But in
We're
the
not
end,
backing down from it.
but
We
in the
do
end-
have the best D line.
best D line.
But in the end, ADR 20-6. This is not the result a lot of us expected. This actually could have been worse. You guys struggled a little bit on offense, but you had the entry to Polo early on, which really hurt you guys.
We
You
did.
had
We
only-
missed the field goal.
You had a limited amount of players.
I think we missed 2 field goals.
Say what you want, but this game was just a shock.
Kyle Marshall. Shout out to Kyle Marshall. Special teams won that game. Special teams and D line,
Yeah,
and then my pick sixes.
you guys won. You guys won.
You take away the pick sixes, we still win 7-6. Stay woke.
No matter what they say.
Stay woke. It's still a dub. They can disrespect all they want. All I want to hear is good game, shake hands, and then we'll see you next time.
Yup.
Long way to playoffs, long season.
We've already moved on.
I think we touched on it last year. We
The
just want everybody-
48-hour ban.
You take an L,
Back
you just
up.
give credit where credit's due, and you move on. And we moving on. Red Knights is on the clock. Is it time for predictions? Next
No,
week?
we got power ranking.
Power Rankings! Oh, fuck your Power Rankings.
Number 9, Red Knights. All they got, all they need, and it's not pretty so far. Granted, you can go back and say the Ruckus game doesn't look bad on paper, 24-19, but that game should have been an 18-point win for Ruckus. Knights are 0-2 to start the season. I got them in the bottom of the league right now. They're not. They got TJ, but if you take in Scunyon still, and they still got Andy, but at the same
Okay.
J King, but at the same time,
We're talking about the Red Knights?
yes.
So here's the thing. I think Boone gave them an F defensive rating, but their defense actually played better than their offense. And I think they had a pick 6 on defense. They scored points on defense. So I just think, if anything, we need to change that to like the D minus.
A D minus.
Maybe it's just a D.
The
But-
defense was not very good. I
You
will
got-
say that.
all
The defense
right,
looks
here's
the
my
same as
thing.
it did last year.
Here's my thing. Brunswick is 0-20. They got to be at the bottom of the power rankings.
I got Brunswick 8th still because
Nah.
they played well enough to me to stay at 8th.
Nah, because they lost like they always do for the last 20 games.
I think Brunswick's number 8 to me.
Has the Red Knights won in their last 20 games?
The Red Knights have won, but you
Probably
know who they
multiple
barely
times.
beaten?
Probably
They've
at
only
least
beaten
20.
Brunswick.
They probably won 20. Only beating Brunswick in the last
So you
20
have
games?
to put
Part,
them
yeah.
above Brunswick then.
They got to go above Brunswick.
No, not this season. Whole other season, bro.
These are his power rankings.
Whole other
They
season.
are. And he's always earned them.
Hey,
I've even questioned them.
I'm gonna say this
I'm
ahead
the
of
one
time.
who quoted.
I'm gonna say this ahead of
Power
time.
rankings at the first.
Hey, I'm gonna say it ahead of time. Looking at the rankings, they're going to fluctuate early on based on record. Right now, 0-2 and 2 lackluster performances put the Knights below to me. Whereas Brunswick at number 8 had a great performance against Program for the
If
most
you-
part.
Okay,
They
here's the
played
thing.
well
Okay,
enough
I get
to
you.
win
I
the
get
If
you.
you go off
Brunswick
this
is
season-
going this
Brunswick,
way.
yeah.
Red
You
Knights
see
are
where
going
I'm
this way. Okay.
And if you go off this
So they're
season,
0-20 is better than the Red Knights.
right?
Sometimes
Brunswick is
because
playing
they
better.
only beat
Because
Brunswick.
Brunswick is playing. Brunswick
If
is
you
playing
go,
better right
if you
now.
go off
than-
this season too, the
Okay.
Red Knights are 0-2. Everybody else is 0-1 or 1-0.
All right, what's
Yeah.
next?
Red Knights
So
are last.
Red
to me.
Knights are automatically last.
That's how
I do agree with that.
That is,
Alright, let's-
that is a big part of it. They did not look
I
good
do
enough to
agree
me to
with
say
that.
they
They've
were
lost
good.
2 games compared to Brunswick this season.
Let's go through. Let's go through.
Number 8 is Brunswick. They're going to stay at 8 because they played well enough against Program and me to stay in that position.
Okay.
They should have gotten a win. That's their fault. If they had one, they'd be up there. But right now, they're only number 8 because of that.
Who's the next one dragging trash bags?
A team who, if they play the same way they did on Saturday, I don't think they're going to even make a bracket.
Oh shit! Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about ADR.
Oh shit! I did not know that was gonna. Oh shit!
You didn't read the script? It's right in front of us.
No, bro. I didn't read the fucking
Jesus,
script.
bro. Jesus. I
Shit.
knew you weren't, though.
That's his power rankings.
I got them number 7.
Oh my god.
The offensive line was destroyed.
Oh my.
The snaps were bad.
I wish y'all could see Ross's face right now.
Ross looks stunned.
We have nothing to do with
You put
this.
ADR 7.
We have nothing to do with
7,
it.
based on what I saw Saturday.
Oh, this man
Woo!
is pouring
But I'm
gasoline.
gonna get a lot. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. But I'm
He's
gonna
pouring
Hey, do you, Blaze?
gasoline
Go ahead,
on
dog.
fire.
Go ahead.
He's pouring gasoline.
It's like Tyler
I gotta
said,
get the fuck off
You're,
the
go,
camera.
you're going full one talk, man. Do it.
The
He's
defense-
going full
Speak
one
your
talk.
piece, speak your
Don't get me
piece,
wrong.
Spit
I
your
like
piece.
it.
Spit your piece.
Don't get me wrong.
Say
I like
it.
the defense, but right now
Disclaimer.
I just feel like the way they're looking
Disclaimer.
is not promising enough for me on offense to say they're going to win enough games. But we'll see how they come out this week. It doesn't help that.
They took a loss.
Well, it doesn't help either that they're going to be down Heiler as well this week.
They are.
Another quarterback is being introduced.
And Chuck
There's
Boyd
no
ain't
Dame.
it.
There's no Dame either.
No Dame on the side. There's no Chuck. Chuck ain't it.
This is not a
They had
promising
a falling
start.
out in 8-man. Oh man.
This is not a promising start for ADR at all right now.
Does anybody come back?
So you put them all the way down to
They
7?
put him at
I
7.
put them a 7 to start.
Holy shit.
Like I said, this fluctuates early on. It'll change. You guys have known this for years, and you all still get active weird when I do this
I ain't
stuff.
never heard some shit like that.
There's only 5 teams that are 1-0, right? So here you
5
have,
teams.
even if you go off a record alone.
I'm gonna put number 6. I'm actually gonna drop the program to 6, based on their performance against Brunswick. They did enough to get the win. That's the only difference between them and ADR right now is that win. Program does show a little more promise on offense. They were
Yeah, hurry up,
for a
right?
little bit.
Somebody gonna really try to fuck me up now. They gonna really think I'm
They're
this
just-
fine.
You're fine, bro. You're fine.
It's all him.
I said it, not me, not you.
That's a bet.
That is Blaze. That is Blaze.
Program is 6. Their offense pulled it together as the game went on, and their defense played
He's out.
excellent.
He's out.
I don't think they're a bad team
I
at
gotta
all.
get some pizza.
I think Program is actually a team that has a lot of potential to be very good this
They
season
do.
still. It's just that game was sloppy. Had a lot of penalties. Yeah, that happens early on. They had to play J-Dub at center. They were down default, which
Which
really hurt
remind
them.
me of Keith at center. Some of them went high, some of them went low.
Hey, props
Some
to
of them
Ricky
were right
Miller.
on.
Ricky Miller saved a lot
He
of
did,
those.
He did.
My God, Ricky Miller played his ass off. Michael Beachley should have had that block punt on him,
Yeah,
but Ricky
he's
had the
close.
persistence to pick up the ball and kick it immediately
Yeah.
when Beachley was charging right at him. Look at that picture Brian posted on the Blunt Talk page. Going down to number 5, a team who, despite the loss, I feel like still looks fine. I'm going to go with Broadaxe at number 5. Broadax of Timmy Townsend shows a lot of promise this year. Timmy's playing on a pretty high level for an 18-year-old kid playing against the X-Dogs in his first game ever. They still got a lot of that core from the 2017 team around still. I think this Broadax team...
Your power rankings are wild, Blazing.
Are they
I
wild?
like
Nah,
it.
keep
though.
going.
I like it. No,
Keep going.
I'm just saying, I got Broadax at number 5 because
I
they
just
showed a
throw
lot of
that in
potential and
there
promise this
real
season.
quick.
They're deep on offensive and defensive line. The secondary's still a little sketchy. They got to fix that problem.
They got to
ASAP.
figure that shit out.
But if you look at the way Timmy Townsend played at quarterback, that was their biggest question, was quarterback play. I
Right.
said last year,
Everybody knew the defense was going to be sus.
how much did I emphasize about Broadax and quarterback play last year?
Nobody knew what they was going to do. And Kevin Clancy hit him with the hookup like, hey, check this out.
And he found, and yeah,
It's like Tom said that one last show,
They
man.
just get blessed.
Quarterbacks just kind of fall in his lap.
yeah, and he wasn't lying either. Timmy
He wasn't.
Townsend is quite the quarterback right now for Broadax.
You
Number 4 is, I'm going to go with Ruckus, 1-0 in the year. Solely for the fact they got the win, and truthfully, it should have been a bigger win when they got.
gotta put Broadax.
Offensively, they're playing really well. Ruckus is right now. Defensively, they did play good enough against the Knights. We'll see how they fare against X-Dogs next week. You got to remember, they almost knocked off the X-Dogs last fall. It was 10-6 when they played them.
it for?
Ruckus, for the moment. I'm not going to put them over above
Holy
another undefeated.
fucking
Above Broadax. You gotta switch those two to very
I'm not putting them up
least,
against
Blazing.
another undefeated yet. I'm going to keep them there for the moment. It'll change this week if things go right. If Broadax wins and Ruckus loses.
Bro,
Like I said, this fluctuates early on.
I'm just. You sure you want to record the program radio game?
I probably won't make it. I got a reunion.
If
next
I'll
I were you, I
record it.
wouldn't fucking make it either.
I'm recording.
week. Ross has that
That's
one.
right. We got you covered.
I'll take that.
Young was already taking the week off. Maybe that's why he's getting so crazy right
No,
now.
I'm just saying. I'm going to make most on Saturday, man. Number 3 is a team that you're going to say, how on earth? But Tri-State Spartans, they looked really sharp out there. They played inspired football. Offensively, they looked like they were on it. Deep, and it's the team who just got together.
Nah, bro, they've been
This team's
practicing
less
for
than
weeks.
This team's less than 2 months old.
And
though.
they've been practicing for the whole fucking 2 months.
I like it, Blazing.
I'm happy for them.
Yeah,
I
they
like
look.
it,
They
but
look like they have a lot of fire to them.
They've got more pieces coming to the puzzle.
That's the scary part.
You know
They're only
what?
going to get better.
Your power rankings are on point.
Your power rankings are amazing. This is the greatest show of all time.
Spartans are number 3 right now. Put me on blast all you want, but I'm just saying how it is.
Nah, I'm happy.
That's going to change. It's going to all change next week if everybody plays the way they should.
Nobody plays the way they should, which is why any given fucking Saturday you can catch it. Damn.
Big facts. Big fucking facts.
Yeah, because I ain't
Tri-State
shit.
Spartans,
I don't
number
like
3.
Number
Just
2.
a lot of flashing potential right now. We'll see where they go with it. Number 2 is the
Number
X-Dogs. They're going to stay at number. They're going to go up to 2 after ADR went down.
Holy
Shout out
shit.
to the X-Dogs for that win over Broadax, but 23-20, very close. Could have gone either way, but they got the W either way. I thought it looked a lot better than what Ruckus and the Spartans did total. They still got one of the best D-lines in this league. Matt Eisenberg is still playing lights out.
Holy
They
shit.
had a hard time getting a hold of Timmy Townsend, but, you know, he's a hell of a quarterback.
Holy shit.
What are you saying?
Nothing. Just keep going. Just get it over with.
Oh, you want me to say who's number 1?
I just want you to get it over with.
Oh, okay. Number 1 is the team who ended the streak. Prior to Saturday, the last time ADR had lost in the regular season was June 2017. And that was to the program. Way back in the spring of 17 at Marty Snook.
What team was that?
Program over TMT.
Oh, TMT.
As for ADR,
Asterisk.
if you ask the history of ADR, they'll say it doesn't count. So that was their first ever regular season loss by that stature.
Right.
Warriors are your new number 1 for that victory. For knocking off number 1, for pulling off the upset, and possibly living up to the potential they could be that I was talking about last week when I was supposedly overhyping them. I will say, offensively, I'm not that impressed with what you bring to the table right now. There was a lot of shakiness to some play calling on Saturday. I kind of wondered if you guys want to give it away on offense again like you did in the last game. But at the same time, if that defense plays to its fullest potential and you guys actually bring your full roster,
Hey, our offense is gonna be all right.
Is that for me?
This year, man.
Holy,
Enjoy the fuck out of it.
holy shit!
Ready
Cheers.
for you.
A
Well-
drink.
Welcome to the blue team.
Your new number one, the Warriors.
Woo!
And I didn't
Y'all
think.
gonna be mad.
Let me tell you, 2 years ago, I don't think I would have been saying this.
Keep saying offense trash.
I actually did.
That's what makes it even better. Keep saying offense trash. It is trash.
The
Right.
offense,
And our
right
defense
now is
sucks.
trash. The defense, to me, though, is playing so well enough that the offense can just, if they don't turn the ball over, and you guys play conservative, fundamental football on
They're
offense,
saying
you'll be
they're not
fine.
impressed. They don't understand how we're number one. They don't understand.
Who don't?
They're not
when
going
David,
to.
because David knocked off Goliath and it's week 1 and shit gets crazy.
It's week 1. That's just the
Week one.
starter, guys.
It's week
These are
one
power
power
They're more,
rankings.
they're more upset that we're number 1.
You guys,
and they're number 7.
Yeah.
It's early.
You got
this
program
this stuff
records.
shuffles
Ooh,
fast. But Warriors, you're the new number one. Congratulations.
If we beat the Red Knights, we stay number one, though, right?
Yeah, if you beat the Red
And they ain't gonna
Knights.
shuffle that fast.
If you lose to the Red Knights,
Time to go projections.
A lot of questions to be asked.
Next week is looking lit.
Let us take a look at the schedule.
Oh my gosh, it's getting crazy. It's a little hot in here. It's a little warm.
Starting out,
It's a little warm. We're taking bets this weekend. I'm
starting
taking
out
bets.
at 10:30 a.m. Really different start time than normal, but it's nice. Get to sleep in a little bit Saturday morning.
Well-
Fatty's just in time for lunch. Why not? With X-Dogs and Ruckus, X-Dogs lead the series all time 8-0, defeating them
Let's
twice.
go Ruckus.
Yeah,
I'm
but
rooting for Ruckus.
it's been a one-sided It's been a one-sided
I'm
affair
tired.
so
I'm
far.
tired of rooting for the X-Dogs. I need them to lose.
What's the first game? Ruckus Expo?
Ruckus X-Dogs 10:30.
10:30.
Who's got that game?
I got that game.
Tyler Spencer has that game. Y2 Sports. Keep an eye on that. Dogs have dominated them from the start. They beat them twice in 2014, 3 times in 2015. But however, Ruckus in league play has gotten a little bit closer to them. Fall of 16, only lost by 1. And then last fall, only lost by 4. However, at the Summer Sizzler, it was 20-6 X-Dogs in a game they dominated from start to finish. And that was with Chile on the roster.
I don't really think the Ruckus is going to win.
We'll see about that when we get to predictions, but that's just the schedule for the moment. Looking down at the next game, it's going to be Broad.
One special.
No, I just look at the schedule to start. Looking at the next game, it's going to be Broad Axe versus Spartans at 12 p.m. Broad Axe leads the series all time, 4-0, 116-8 in those 4 meetings they played. 116-8 was the margin.
Who's playing?
Broad Axe Spartans. That's the all-time margin of head-to-head.
Spartans have always fucking sucked though.
They don't seem like they suck this time around, but we'll see.
They're going to be a better team for sure.
Broadax might be bringing them back to earth pretty quickly. And if there's a team to put them back to earth, it's Broadax.
Broadax needs that dub.
Looking at the third game of the day, number 9, Red Knights versus number 1, Warriors. 1:30, Knights lead the series all time 5-1. Defeating the Warriors 30-0, 32-13, 13-0, 19-13, and 17-10.
Andy still hates me.
However, that all changed last spring. That all changed last spring
He hates the beer too.
Okay, no.
He won't be there.
when the Warriors defeated the Red Knights 20-6 in Greencastle. So a lot of change to this matchup. You
Can we
guys,
talk about that game? Or
we're going to in predictions. But first, we get to the last game of the day. We preview it. Adrenaline Rush program, 3 p.m.
Ooh, I smell more pick sixes.
ADR leads the series all time 4-1. The only time program won was 26-6 back in the spring of 17. Since then, 27-6, 25-8, 30-27, 32-0.
If program beats ADR, I'm for real shutting the fucking studio down. I'm reporting Guantanamo.
Let's get to predictions, man.
Oh boy, it's going down.
First game, X-Dogs Ruckus. Ross, who you got?
That's those.
X-Dogs. All right.
Should I give a point?
2 or 3 scores.
Yeah. I'm going with at least 2 scores.
2 scores. All right.
Yeah, I'll go 2.
Does Matt quarterback? Does Matt
It don't
come out
matter.
at wide receiver?
I don't think it
He's
matters
better
where he
than
plays at. He'll find a way to win.
If he's on the field, it don't
I
matter.
think he's better
Yeah.
at wide receiver right now.
You think so?
I mean, why they made the switch and they won. He's more
Matt
of a threat.
Is this a new-
is the
He's tough to
original
guard.
cheat code.
Yeah, he's tough to guard.
Still out there doing
Is this
his
a new
thing.
age for the Dogs? Is Matt Possibly
George
moving.
Benn's still in the backfield.
Yeah, they had Georgie.
These guys are tough, man. And they're pissed off at your power rankings. You got Jason Kensler tuning in, laughing at your Warriors D-line jokes.
Has Jason
What?
Kinsler
Those are
ever
your jokes.
commented on a live show? Ever?
I don't tell jokes, Joey.
We do have the best D-line in the league, period.
Possibly. We'll see as the year goes on.
Who's winning?
X-Dogs by 2.
X-Dogs Ruckus. Who wins?
Who'd you pick?
I didn't pick.
I was waiting for you to pick. I make them pick last.
I
That's how we do
can't. I
this.
can't.
It's
Make
not
the
that
show.
hard. X-Dogs
I
are
don't
win.
want X-Dogs to win, so I'm picking Ruckus.
You don't want them undefeated when they play you next
I don't
week?
give a fuck if they're undefeated or not. I need them to take the L for power rankings and standings and all that shit.
All right, so he's got Ruckus.
I just don't
Tom
think.
is a believer.
I don't think. No, I'm not. I don't think they can do it.
But you don't want the X-Dogs to win.
X-Dogs are gonna
Oh
win by
my.
like 10, if not 14.
2 scores.
2-score game, yeah.
2-score game? All right, X-Dogs by
game.
2 scores.
A lot of turnovers. I smell turnovers in that game.
All right, I'm going to go Dogs as well. I feel like in the trenches they're going to overwhelm
Does Ruckus have a punter?
Ruckus as the game goes on. I feel like if Steven Renner is their best bet at winning a quarterback, he has to be there for them to have a shot. If he's not there and it's Ryan Lockhart, they're going to be in major trouble.
Just throw the ball up. I'd take my chances on their worst defender.
I think so too. I would go after that secondary.
Yeah,
and
I'm
you know
going
what?
after him.
Let Renner run like
Yeah.
Timmy Townsend did.
Yeah.
If they can get that
Tire him
in,
out.
they could possibly win this
Tire him
game.
out, throw the ball up.
Yeah.
X-Dogs by 2.
I think the X-Dogs wear them down as the game goes on, and they win by a touchdown or 2 at the end. I don't think it's going to be as lopsided as the Summer Sizzler was, but I feel like it's going to be a game where as it goes on, the Dogs dominate.
I'll be drunk by halftime.
You'll be calling the game as well.
I'm just kidding.
Our next kickoff game, Broadax Spartans. Ross, who you got?
Broad Axe.
Why?
Because they're a better team.
Gotcha. Tyler?
Man, this is a fucked up show. Oh, damn, bro. Like, I don't know. I think Spartans can win it. I think Broadax should. If that makes sense. I don't know.
You don't know?
It's my game of the week, and the vote said that this is also game of the week.
I gotta give it to it. Just because I think X-Dogs Ruckus is good, but I think X-Dogs is going to be my 2
Okay,
score.
I
This
think
is an interesting
I think
game.
that Spartan secondary gets in Timmy's head, and they might do something crazy.
If I was the Spartans, that's what I would do.
But Broadax's D line should fuck their front line up.
Yeah.
And can Keenan Poyer get away from them?
Can Keenan Pooler expose that secondary? This is why I'm trying
If
to
Keenan
tell
get
you
enough
this
time,
is game of the week,
if he can
bro.
get enough time,
This is fucking game of the week, man.
if they get enough
Game of the
time,
week.
if they get enough time, Keenan can burn them deep. But if that trench gets overwhelmed and he's getting sacked every other play, it's
Yeah,
game
if
over.
they're playing.
For what it's worth, Keenan struggled against Broadax when he played him in 2017.
That's
The
right.
Ducks.
That's right.
Broadax
was
shut
I
him
there
down.
for that? Was that the last time we played?
Something like that.
Something like that.
In your case, I don't know.
Yeah, my case.
All I'm saying is, like, I feel like Broadax's trenches.
I'll tell you what, if the Spartans get up at all, it's over.
Even if it's just 3-0.
No, they won't be by 3. I don't think they have a kicker. If they score or take the lead, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap?
It's a wrap.
I don't think so. Broadax's a little more resilient than that.
It's not a matter of their resiliency. It's the fact that the Spartans have the biggest vibe in the league right now, and when they score, the whole team lit. When they make a play, the whole team lit.
There was a lot of mental,
That's sideline.
lot of mental mistakes in their game too.
Hey, that was their first game. I'm trying to tell you.
yeah.
That pick me up vibe. That we made a play. Let's get it. I'm telling you, that shit's
You know
got
how many
magic.
scrimmages they have? Shit.
I'm trying to tell you, man. If they can block, right? If they can find a way to block, they're going to shock everybody. Because everybody in these comments is like, oh, Broadax.
I think Broadax's defense is good enough to get
Broadax's
done.
D line is the only
And
thing on that
Ross's offense
defense
is
that's better than what the Spartans are putting out there. So if they don't make the
It's an
plays,
interesting game.
if they don't make the plays
It
in the
has to be game
backfield,
of the week.
if
It
they
has to
don't
be.
get the
Who
sack,
cares? It's a game.
if they don't get the sack, Keenan takes off and the secondary gets exposed. Thad has a field.
Exactly.
Thad has a field. Jimmy can't guard everybody.
Thad got
Zeke's
some
gonna have to
hands,
play
boy.
corner. You throw it to
Thad
whoever.
got some hands.
You throw it to whoever Zeke and Jimmy aren't guarding, and they've got enough receivers to do it.
What if
Thad.
Jazz shows up this weekend?
Jazz shows up this weekend. It's real tough. They don't have the manpower to match up. That's what I'm saying. It's a good matchup. And anybody saying otherwise is just being fucking biased. Like, this is a good game. This is a good game. If you're counting the Spartans out, you're a fool. And if you think Broadax has it easy, you're a fool. Like, you're a fool. It's a
I
good
just
game.
feel like Broadax and the
They have the
trenches,
experience. They should win.
They should
Broadax
win this game, and I think that they're going to win this game because of that.
Give me Spartans by a score.
I got Broadax by 2 scores when it's said and done because they're going to wear
Are
them
we
down.
betting?
I don't bet on anything, bro.
We'll talk about it.
All right. But I'm saying Broadax in this game, I got them winning. I feel like in the trenches, they're going to overwhelm them. They're going to dominate as the game goes on. And the only thing they can do is to try to force
Speed
Timmy
versus
Townsend
power.
to making mistakes. But Townsend showed a lot of poise for a kid so young on Saturday against X-Dogs.
X-Dogs is like the nicest team in the league. Spartans are about to be on them. Boy.
But he still survived.
All right,
He
we'll see.
survived a
You didn't
month
hear
ago.
no shit talk.
I don't think they are.
All right.
Shit talk
You don't
don't
think
mean
they're-
anything. It's that
you're
pass
right.
rush
You're
you got to
right.
deal
You're
with.
right.
It's the pass
You're
rush.
talking to the person who doesn't get in people's heads. You're right.
Pass rush is the biggest key, and he
All
survived
right.
a really good pass rush for the X-Dogs.
We'll see. We'll
I think
see.
you're doubting that Dogs D-line.
I'm
too
not
much.
doubting the Dogs D-line. I'm just trying to tell
Look,
you.
Timmy ran a lot against X-Dogs. He had to. I don't think he's going to have to.
And he still managed
I
to
don't think
do
he's
well
going to have
against
to
that
against
rush.
Spartans, man. I think he's going to sit back there and drop dimes.
So he has to play.
I'm gonna
perfect?
listen, let me say this. Timmy had a couple good throws. He ran a lot
Yeah,
for
great
an extended
throws.
plays.
Yeah.
Did extend
I
plays.
think we're getting ready to see Timmy's true arm ability because I don't think the Spartans are going to have much of a
Timmy hasn't learned what a Zeke is yet.
That's a fact. I'm not arguing that one bit.
Hey,
If
I'm
Tim-
not arguing that one bit.
If Timmy learns what a Zeke is this weekend, I'm going Broadax all the
So,
way.
yeah, so there's still
But
potential
what
there
they
for
just
that.
showed.
the fact they still did well without using Zeke, though.
Zeke, by the way, we'll use you.
That's right.
You already know that.
Blue,
You already
blue.
know that. So
I got Broadax.
had to
though.
throw it out there.
I'm going to go Broadax in this game. They're going to wear him down the trenches. That's the biggest key to me.
All right, Broadax by score.
Change your mind.
I gotta go with the statistics. And Broadax scored more points against the better defense than the Spartans did against the shitty
No,
defense.
they didn't.
Yes, they did.
Spartans scored more.
Against the shitty defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Broadax scored more points against a better defense, in a sense, than what they scored against the shitty defense. How many points differential was it? Spartans scored what, 22?
22 to 20.
Okay, so 2 points and a much better defense.
Okay.
So Broadax should win.
I'm just trying to figure out your math on that.
2-point differential, like third best defense to fucking not at all. Number 9 team. X-Dogs,
Spartans.
you have X-Dogs at number 2. You have Red Knights at 0. Spartans beating Red Knights means shit. Broadax almost beat X-Dogs and scored a lot of points.
Okay.
Therefore, they should score more points.
-3 is somehow better to you than
2 points.
+15.
Against the worst team in the league.
I'm just saying your basis is
You
very...
picked Broadax
Your
anyway.
basis is weird, though. You
I
have
don't
a
like
weird
either of them.
basis.
You're right.
That's what I was trying to say.
The numbers don't lie. If you take the power rankings and you want to weigh
Moving
the
on to the
points,
third game of the day.
you're gonna get a shitty Red
Moving
Knights
on to the
versus a
third
really
game.
good X-Dogs. Losing to them is better than beating
Speaking
a shitty
of those
team.
Red Knights,
Fuck the Red Knights. They're on the clock.
Warriors, Red Knights, you guys are not allowed to pick this game, but I am. I'm going to go with Warriors, but I think the Knights give you guys a better fight early on than what you guys give them credit for.
I need 3 touchdowns offensively.
I feel like the Knights will come out fighting, but the Warriors D-line wears them down as it goes on. Chad Wilson's going to be missing. Andy will get sacked a lot. Andy's best bet is
We'll
to
be
have
on
quick
offense
passes all
day.
game.
We'll be on offense all day.
2-step drops is what Andy needs to do. Get it all fast and quick. All those quick slants and run it the Red Knights' way. Otherwise, I could see this game getting ugly. I'm going to go Warriors by 2 to 3 scores when it's all said and done. But you guys need to still get the offense together. That's going to be the biggest key. However, your defense might be able to produce some offense of itself. We'll see what happens there. Moving on now to the final game of the day, ADR program. Ross, who do you got?
Officially, I don't know, man. It's tough, man. Program family, but I think ADR is going to come out really mad.
They're going to come out
and
mad.
ready to prove a point. They were still, listen, okay. I know the Warriors beat them, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And I'm on the Warriors, blah, blah. ADR still has a shit ton of talent over there. It's just without
They
Boone,
do.
honestly, Boone is a cheat code. I don't care what anybody says. Boone is a cheat code. I think we just helped prove that. But ADR still has a lot of talent over there. Put them in the right places.
This nigga Rome said ADR by 28.
28?
Wow.
How big program is that bad?
ADR by 28.
I mean, is Adam playing quarterback?
I'll go ADR one score. Officially.
ADR one score?
Yeah.
That's reasonable. Tyler?
I will be filming too, so don't.
Ross Collins will have that for you, courtesy of Y2 Sports.
Boone ain't quarterbacking. Brandon ain't quarterbacking.
Boone is a cheat code. We've already proved it.
That won't be Chuck. Dame's not there.
Yeah, that's another question. What is ADR going to have on Saturday?
What do they field?
Yeah, like what do they got? Like who's quarterback? Is Jacob?
Does Mouse throw the ball?
I would have thought Mouse would have came in last week, to be honest, because Hyler was getting sacked so much
you
that he
say?
had no time. Jacob Mitchell Bryant, perhaps a voice from the past,
Jacob Bryan Mitchell?
something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Does Jacob come back? Who do they... I don't know, man.
Who? I mean, you play 8-man down there in Winchester sometimes. Do you know anybody else down there?
Marty. Marty is the quarterback for Dame. I don't know, man. This is what happens when you make enemies sometimes.
That's your word.
I don't. Who do they field?
That's the question. I don't know who they're going to field either. If they bring back Chris Boone, then you know what? That's a whole other game. Suddenly, or is it?
How do you? I don't know.
Is the offensive
we don't
line
have
a
a-
problem still?
Well,
Because that line looked rough last week.
here's.
Great defense.
Boone will play well, don't get me wrong, but
I'm
that
pretty
line is
sure
going to be a
everybody
problem.
voted like Dominique Rivetta or whatever for the best offensive lineman last week. He was there.
But that line still struggled.
Just saying. But they also had their kicker playing right tackle for some crazy reason.
That might have been all they had.
That's the problem with playing 5-man, 6-man, 7-man, 8-man. You don't have much big, beefy linemen that know what they're doing.
I gotta pick the program
Really?
I almost did that too, but
by like 2 points.
2?
Yep.
Okay. Personally, I go back to what are they going to have? That's the thing.
Program by 2 points. A safety.
You think it's going to be a 2-0 game?
Or
I
they,
mean, it's
or they.
You
I
think
don't know.
Ricky Miller? Well, I mean, you got to consider there's no Dame on defense.
There's
How
no
much of a
kickers.
difference does that make?
There's no kicker for program. There's a kicker for ADR.
That's a difference too. ADR can move the ball a little bit enough; they can get a kick in there.
Nobody likes us anymore. We're not even gonna be able to do a show next week.
I'll be live. I don't know about you.
nobody likes
gonna
it.
watch
Still
it.
got at least 36
Oh, well.
viewers right now.
I'm just-
But let me tell you, ADR program. What it's going to come down to is the transition. If ADR's O line can't handle
Yeah, who you got?
death row, they're going to be in trouble.
Who you got?
And I
this
feel
week?
like that's going to be something that works against them. in
I'm
this
picking
game.
against ADR for the rest of the year. Fuck it. Program by 2.
I just feel like this is a mess of a game going in where your offensive line is spotty, your quarterback position is questionable because Dave did indicate Hyler was out. If Boone does come out this week and play, it's a different ball game. But if Boone's not playing,
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this.
yeah, if Boone plays, I feel like they have a shot at winning this game suddenly.
You have
it's
to
a different
pick,
game.
You have to pick ADR, bro. I'm rooting for a program. I don't know, man. I
It's like
don't know. I'm
if-
kind of mutual.
Let me
this
put it
one.
like this: if Chris Boone shows up,
They're both kind
I
of
feel
fan.
like they can win this game. But if they're showing up with another guy that they're bringing up from 8-man with lack of experience, with an offensive line that looks like they were very thin on bodies, to the point where a kicker's playing and they're only dressing 19, then they're going to be in trouble.
That's what I was going to say, man. ADR dressed probably what, 19, 18, 19, 20 maybe?
Yeah.
They only played probably 12, 13, 14 of them.
Whoo!
There was a lot of people over there in red shirts, but the one. I'm pretty sure some of them were sitting under the shade almost the whole time.
Man, not right.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I just
Either way, ADR still has talent over there. You got Coley, you got Sean Parker. We all know the two
they do have
over
talent.
there.
I'm not going to discuss that. I got too
And
much
Boone
talent.
was over there. He just didn't play.
Yeah, if Boone did play, it might have been a different game. I'm saying that's going to be the big difference for this one. If Boone shows up and he can play the way Chris Boone is
I'm
known
the
to play,
MVP, Ron. I'm the MVP this season.
tell him that's not. But anyways, if Boone does play, I think they can win it. But if Boone's not playing, I got program in this one. I feel like Ricky Miller can put together enough offense to get him down their field. I feel like the
think
defense is not
Program
well
needs,
enough.
program needs a better offensive line than what they brought
Can they
against
score?
ADR.
Can
They are
score?
going to need one.
Or
You're
against
right.
Brunswick.
I just feel like Ricky Miller is more of a certainty than the random person they might bring up from Winchester. But if Chris Boone is there, I can't pick against ADR. Because Chris Boone has never lost in Washington County in a regular season game of all time. He's never lost a regular season game in county. But going by what we've seen all week, I'm going program. But if Boone's there, it's a different ball game.
I got so many twisted thoughts going through my mind.
So that's my pick.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Gentlemen, you're going to have a busy day Saturday. You
Yeah,
two are going to be
just
filming.
fine.
You got
I'm
football.
chilling.
We got this, though.
It's going to be a fun day.
One Talk Media, we always prevail.
We'll be live. They'll be live. I'll be with family. Joey Blaze has to step out for a
Week
bit.
2.
We'll be back next week for Blunt Talk.
You're not calling
Sound
anybody
off. I
else.
was about to say, you're not calling nobody in, goddamn.
Sound off. I
I'm
like
done.
it.
Fuck
I
you.
like it, Blazer.
I'm out.
End this shit. Let's
End it.
go.
Let's play some Xbox. Let's fuck your team.
Have a wonderful night.
Can we go over this Power Rankings one more time? One more time.
Run the list down, Blazer.
One
Do
more
it.
time.
Y'all
And
really
then-
I
want
really we
Just
gotta-
start with at number 8 or number 9 and go down. Let's go. Go, Blazer.
to recap one more time because they really want to hear it.
Yup.
It ain't even about who's number one. I'm more concerned about who you put at the bottom.
Yup. Do it, Blazer, and then we'll end it.
Nah,
Go.
we done. They didn't watch it. Rewind it.
No, we
Have a
got
good night. We'll see you Saturday.
Joey's in football.